Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to GQUAT Traditions Family Reunion Bus. I hope everybody's having a good day. Hello, hola, unbiased, Rachel LLC. Joanne Stevens, hello, sissy, Yankee sister. I'm glad to see my family up in here today. Hope everybody had a good day. It actually cooled down. It cooled down. I'm not even sweating. I usually have a little ice pack around here somewhere. I didn't even get it today. So I have so much exciting stuff to talk to you about. Now I'm getting an announcement that I'm live. Hello, Mike. It's Chaotic Paint Gardening. Cheryl Faulkner. Hi, sis. How are you doing? Lorraine T. How are you doing? I know two ladies in here who are so excited. They have just both acquired sewing machines and vintage ones. I'm so excited because I want to show you something because I spent 2 hours on two machines this week servicing them. I was not going to the shop and give them my $150 to $500 anymore. They bring it in and say, "Oh, Raven, hello, my goddaughter niece. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys, Raven is the one who did all the work to make my community garden. She took me to the big box store, bought the wood, pushed the cart around. Hello, G Mama Grows. Everything. Raven says, "Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello." Raven, I met when she was about 4 years old, and she came to my house here in New Haven, my former house, and my German Rottweiler Hannibal jumped up on her to say hello and knocked her down. Knocked her down. She didn't give up on Auntie, and she still loved coming over there. And after that, Hannibal was such a gentleman, such a gentleman. He was good with kids, but he'd scare the out of you if you didn't know him. Yes, yes, yes. So, what is the temperature? What's the weather like where everybody is? What about you, Raven, up in the Northeast? I mean, Northwest. I don't know if that hurricane is coming up that way or if it will be a storm. So, what grow zone is everybody in, or what state? If you don't know the grow zone. Yes, Mike's saying nice about Raven. Raven's my battle buddy, as you guys say. I had an issue with a return at Wally World when I moved in this apartment 4 years ago, and they were giving me such a hard time. I was waiting for my to have a hip replacement, and I went there. Hey, GT Junior Grows in Alaska. I see you putting your new bed together up there, your new raised gardening bed. So I'm in the store, and Raven and her mom called me and said, "Auntie Ellen, where are you?" And I told them. And they said, "We're coming over there. We'll be there in 10 minutes." They were there in 5 minutes. And I had parked my car at the Joann's Fabric, but I was really in Walmart. They were in the parking lot looking at cars. They came in there, like the women warriors in Africa. They were ready. They were ready. They came to get their auntie girl. Oh, it's 73 degrees up in your neck of the woods, Yankee sister. Let me see where it is down here. You guys, we're both in Connecticut. She's 15 miles from me, and she has a completely different weather pattern. Oh, it's warm over here. It's 77 degrees where I am. Raven said, "Yes, we did. Yes, we did. My women warriors come to see about me." That's one thing. I don't have any DNA family in the city that I live in, but I have some sister friends that are there like we were born and raised together. I'm actually older than all of them, but they just treat me like a big sister and their auntie. And if I call any of them any time of the day or night, any time of the day and night, they're rolling, they're coming. So I'll wait for a few more people to come in. I have so much so many exciting things to tell you. One of the things is about these fabric postcards, hashtag fabric postcards 2023. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? I went to the post office today to mail one. I couldn't even get out of the post office. People wanted to see them, wanted to look at them. And I worked on several this week. I have several to show you. No two are alike. Maria Graham said she was in the sewing room. Good for you. Good for you. Yankee's sister has her new sewing room set up. Lorraine T has a new sewing machine. I can't wait to show you guys something special. Something special. I'll wait just a couple more minutes. And I want to say, please give the thumbs up, everybody. And that will help the algorithms so that YouTube shows it to more people. And if you're in the bushes, if you're here for the replay, I appreciate you too. Please leave a comment so that I'll know that you were here in the replay. And let me know what you thought about the content. Hello, Psalm 146. Hope Bean Juice is doing well. I hope Bean Juice is doing well. I think the fabric postcards is something he could work on too, because you can actually take pieces of the fabric and the things that we're working on and draw on them with Crayola crayons. The part where you iron on the double-sided fusible. This is heat and bond. You don't have to use heat and bond. This is unbleached muslin on the front, just the heat and bond. But you can use any type of stabilizer that you like, anything that you like. But this part, once it's like this, you can paint on it. For those of you who paint, you can draw on it. You can do anything you want because this paper is going to keep the extra water from going through. And when it dries, you just treat it like any other piece of fabric. So I'll wait until 6:10 and get started. I guess you guys can hear me well. Everybody's responding. So without further ado, I will show you what's on the agenda today because I don't. Let me see if I can pull up the chat and see what you guys are doing in the background. I don't know. I've got this new phone and things aren't set up the way they used to be. And I have, oh, there it is. I can pull it up now. Now I can see you guys in the chat. I can see I can see Barb Brownlee just came in. Hello, Barb, with your 5 sewing machines out there. I didn't forget about you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so today, because it's getting near the end of summer, how many of you are processing food, either canning or dehydrating or fermenting? Put a 1 in the chat. How many of you got some groceries going on so that you will have food in the winter? Raven, you need to see how much food your auntie girl has prepped. Since you left, I have my sofa up on metal casters, special architectural ones, and I'm using under there for storage. Under my bed is extra storage. These are additional storages. In the pantry, you can't even get a pancake in there sideways. That's okay. For those of you who don't know, Raven is a professional sommelier and a vegan chef. Mike's Chaotic Gardening is preserving, GT Jr. washes some now. Maria Graham, G Mama Grows, Yankee Sister. Oh, you'll be able to, Raven. Raven knows Auntie makes the wine, the good wine at home. Dehydrating and pickling. Well, today, well, actually, it's not today. Yesterday, I believe it was. It could have been today. I get my days and nights mixed up. I get up at night and hang up with the people who are crafting at night, at midnight, and I do things. I'll come in here and work. It might have been this morning, but I have some lemon slash pineapple fermenting to make some vinegar, some pineapple lemon vinegar, and I used the rind from the Meyer lemons that Juicing with Jay sent me. And Baya said, "Cheers, cheers." It's a little early for you, waiting on the harvest still. That's okay. I've been going to the farmer's market. Hello, Nikki, the Everyday Life of an OCD-ish chick. So then I sent my helper to the store to get some apples because I'm going to see my mom tomorrow and I thought she might like some apples. And I told her to get a big bag. Well, she got two big bags. So no problem. It was time for me to make apple cider vinegar. I've been making apple cider vinegar for 50 years. Hey, 10, the educated natural. How are you doing? Hope you got some mail from me this week. The mail is so slow, you guys. I sent my mother one of the fabric postcards, but I think everybody's looking at them everywhere they go because they take so long to get there. So going back to the apples, I'm taking one bag to the family tomorrow, and the other I had cut up and I made applesauce. I jarred it up, whole new perspective. I didn't film it. I'm so busy working. I don't have time for the cameras. I need a photographer, somebody. I will feed you if you take the pictures for me. So I have 2 quarts of apple cider vinegar working and a half gallon of the lemon slash pineapple vinegar working. I would show it to you, but I'm embarrassed. I'm out of half-gallon jars. I don't have a single one. I had a lot of gallon jars. I don't know what happened to them. I gave one away. I don't think I gave two away, but they're gone. Hey, Stacy, hands in the dirt. Glad you're back from Hawaii. And so I'm personally preserving vinegars, some applesauce, but I will be making a lot. I have a huge head of cabbage. I'm going to make my grandmother's style sauerkraut, not that nasty sour kind, but a different kind. I'll show you guys. I will actually I will actually turn my cameras on for that. Stacy saying hello, everybody, speaking to everybody. So let me show you before I show you what I've been working on, let me pick this up, put it down slowly, because last week, wouldn't be alive if Auntie didn't drop something. But we were talking about well-made items, even the drawers of this coffee grinder, this antique coffee grinder, have the dovetails. But I want you to see that I got the one side, this side had black labels, kind of stuck to it that were put on there before my sister Joanne bought it for her big sister. And I used soap and water and a plastic spoon and I got it off. It left a little bit of markings, but you know what? I want to tell you guys about antiques and I will show you all around the side. And there's supposed to be some way that, and I will do it, that I can look up these Roman numerals in this old writing and see when this was actually made. This one is hundreds of years old. And you should see how easy it opens. Hey Jegs, J3GS, how are you doing this evening, sir? So I just wanted to show you, especially you, Sissy, since you bought it for me, how nicely it cleaned up. And you don't want to overdo it. Take all those little marks off of it. That's the patina. That shows that it is 200 years old, over 200 years old. So I I guess I've been in DIY mode all this week. The next thing, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, the brother machine with the 100 decorative stitches stopped working. It went chug a lug. So I decided to take it apart. Oh my goodness, you can't get it apart. Let me move this. What I ended up doing, I was saying, "Oh, this is the part where, like broke farmers, I was talking about women that always want to be alone. Tori's brain, everybody, thank you for coming. I love being single, but I hate when I can't open something myself. I have all these devices and stuff. I wouldn't give up on it. I worked on this machine for 2 hours. Actually, each machine, I wouldn't give up. I'm going to get something, a pointer to show you guys because there's a screw here and a screw here in the presser plate, and they're rounded. If you ever have a sewing machine, especially one of the newer ones, the old machines are made like that. They have regular screws. The new sewing machines, for anybody interested in sewing, are made so that you cannot remove them. When I bought this one, I called them and I said, "Well, how do you oil it?" You know what they told me? You don't oil it. There's enough oil in it for it to last, and when it doesn't last, you take it to a shop. Oh no, you didn't. And they got me during the you know what. I made and donated about 2,000 double sided cloth masks, some to Yale University Hospital. There are 3 senior buildings around here. I donated a free mask to each of the seniors. And if they wanted a second one, I charged them $5 to pay for the fabric. And I used my good quilting fabric. But I made sure that if it was in my power, nobody in my building would die of that, what was going around. And I did a good deed, but it tore up the sewing machines. I would show you one. Actually, I do have a lot. I do have some left. I will show you because these are washable, and I sent some around the world. I mean, everybody doesn't wear a mask. I get it, but if you needed to, if you had to, this one is actually made out of that schwashwar woven African fabric. It's a man's mask, but I made some for the maintenance men. I made camo. They kept their faces warm for the hunters. Different ones. I made some with kente cloth, different things. But what I was going to say is that sewing, I'll take this one out, it's pretty. It's double sided. Sewing through where the folds are, sewing through 4 layers of fabric plus the elastic, I tore up 3 machines. Each one I took to the shop, they said it would be like $45 for them to look at it. That's okay. Another strand. Yes, another strand is going around, Lorraine T. Some of my friends who live in some of the warmer states have gotten it. And me, because of my mother's age, and I go around her, I never stopped wearing a mask. And I know that I live in a high rise building with 79 different apartments. I'm not taking a chance. Everybody didn't take any of the shots. I respect that, but I'm not risking my family by, carrying it somewhere. And I'm washing my hands. I'm doing everything. They probably think I'm the only crazy person in the building. Hi, Diversity Love. How are you doing with your new machine? So let me go back to showing you about these machines. If you ever take the screw out, these two screws, they're almost impossible to get out. And they're not made for, I will show you, for a regular screwdriver to get it out. Let me first show you some things that you will need if you ever want to service a machine. You do want to have maybe a couple screwdrivers, especially if you have an older machine. This looks like just what it is. This thing must be 25 years old. It looks like the old things that used to come with the oven cleaner easy off, except I use it for my machine. Don't get the spray, that puff puff spray that they say, hello, Robin Murphy, to clean things out, electronic devices, computers, whatever. That pushes whatever you're trying to clean up, the dust and stuff, up into the machine. You get one of these old die-hard brushes and you dig and scrape everything out, everything out. So you need one of these brushes. I'll show you. I ended up using these heavy duty pliers trying to get the screw out, because what I actually had to do was take a screwdriver and a small hammer. I let one of my neighbors borrow the hammer and break, like you're doing something automotive, to break the seal to get in here. That is ridiculous. I had to take the hammer to loosen it and this. But guess what? It doesn't fit under there. It doesn't fit around there. There's no way to get a screwdriver to fit one of these machines. So the other thing you'll need if you're cleaning one is some sewing machine oil with a spout. Make sure that it's clear. Don't use 4-in-1. Don't use any of those other oils that you had in your old or your husband's toolbox. Hello, Happy Jack. Thank you for coming and welcome. So let me show you what you really use for these sewing machines. The newer machines come with a thingy like this. You never stop wearing a mask. You sewed and crocheted masks, plus caught a bag full from Wally World, who marked them down to a very cheap price. Well, when I was making them, there were no masks. There were no masks for the hospitals. There were no, and like Yale is a major hospital around here. There was nothing for anybody, nothing for everybody. But I wanted you to see this little thingy. If you've ever seen one and didn't know what it is, this is made for the newer sewing machines. And this part is like a screwdriver, supposedly, or you can put this down in there to open the rounded screws. But be very careful. If you ever take one out, you can never get one. They don't make the rounded ones except for that machine. But you know what I use? Don't forget, I always have a dime. This is what I use to, yes, Maria Graham, I know, because you have one of the newer machines. I don't know if you know what that was for. I use a dime, and that's what I used to open this and to tighten it. I also keep a dollar bill. It's under some stuff under there. I don't want to take it out right now. And the machines that have the exterior spools for the thread, that's what I use to floss in between there. This one is indented. If you have a brother or one of the newer machines, it's indented, and there's a screw in the back. You take the screw out and take this head off in order to service it. So that being said, this one is serviced, and I want to show you something else real quick. because I think I told you I never wind bobbins on the sewing machine. I haven't for over 25 years. And this is what they call a sidewinder bobbin winder, and you can get it from Wally World or any place like that. This one, the top is actually broken off. I've got it over in the corner. I'm just OCD-ish enough that I wanted to keep it because when I'm not using it, I can put it back on here and use a rubber band to hold it. But let me show you how to work this thing because you work it differently for different kinds of bobbins and different kinds of thread. So the first thing that I'll show you will be a regular spool of thread, and you put it on the left. You slide it under like a little knob, and then you put it around the roller in the back. I have it at a weird angle because I'm talking to you guys. Now, the bobbins for the featherweight, Miss Bessie, that little antique machine, they're different than any bobbin that you've seen. And I know that I'm going to need some new ones. So if you ever have one of these bobbins, I'm going to try to hold it real close. You see, there's like a single hole going around. Then over there is a little small hole. So that one, I invented doing this my own self. That one, I put the thread in from the inside of the bobbin. The inside, you go from the inside out. Then I put it on this little thingy to the left. And there's a green button here. So I put it there to get it started a little bit. Then I cut the thread at the top so that it doesn't hang down or get into the threads at the bottom. Not everybody does that, but I do. And then you're supposed to just let her, oh, there's another little knob here that you put forward because it's automatic. So let's see, let's go. So you see, it goes by itself. This is how you rub. Oh, I used to go to Toastmasters at Yale, as a matter of fact. So with this bobbin, because it's much bigger than the average bottom bobbin, it stops automatically. But what Auntie Ellen has done is I make my own way, and it spools it up and down so that it winds evenly. So, like, I wind boxes of bobbins before I start. Hello, bed body, not so fit. I've seen you working out on all your shorts. I've been keeping up with you. So you just keep going, and I try to fill it up. Keep an eye on. You don't have to put your hand on this one. I'm just doing it. When it gets too full, though, it will come off the top, which it just did. You keep an eye on it. Cut it. See how evenly it spools? You don't have to unthread your machine. And then I put this little ponytail holder on it and put it back in here. Now, I want to show you a different one because it's different when you use different size thread. I generally use these great big spools. Some of you who sew or use other machines, like Rachel and Bias, might have some of these giant spools. So obviously this thing wasn't made for commercial spool of thread. So I wrap it around here the same way, and I will get a box of bobbins out. I have bobbins for a different machine. Oh, by the way, Lorraine T and Yankee Sister just got new machines. They're vintage machines, but the good thing about your vintage Spartan is this, that you use just regular just use regular Singer bobbins, those old metal ones. You probably have some all around the house. They'll fit your new Spartan. That's the size bobbin that you use. Okay? So now I have this big spool of thread. Oh, and by the way, those of you who want to save money, you buy these big spools of thread. It could be the Maxi Lock Serger thread, whatever. I have this big fancy thread holder, but you don't need one. Thread is designed in different ways. The first spool I had was designed to come off with a sitting sideways. These big spools you see are angled. You see how they're angled? They're angled so that they roll off from up to down, up and down. So they're supposed to spool up. Instead of buying a thread holder, you put this in a ceramic cup on the floor, and it's doing the same thing. It's spooling up, spooling up. It just runs around and around. And you make sure that it's in a place where it won't get into the bands on the side or the wheel. So let's show how to thread with one of these big spools of thread that wasn't made to go on here. And what I'll do is get some other watch your upload. Oh, they're talking to each other. Diversity Love, and you can use these for your new machine too. So here's a case of bobbins. They're clear, usually for these new Brother machines. And by the way, unbiased, Brother and Baby Lock take the same size bobbin. I didn't know that like 10 years ago when I got my first Baby Lock. And I had a case of bobbins for the Baby Lock, a case for this, a case for each different machine. But it saved time because what I do is have a whole case of bobbins ready and just run them. Just run them. When they run out of thread, I just take the next one. I don't have to unthread my machine. So, same thing. You see this clear bobbin? It has a little hole in there. Might take me a minute, you guys. I got it through. My depth perception is off. So, make sure that you can see it. You put it down on here. Unbiased, this would be invaluable for you. So then I just thread it a little bit just to get it started, right? And then I close this little lever here, and then it's going to start by itself. But see, it's not made for this big spool of thread. So I just stick my finger on the top. Thank you, Barb Brownlee. So you see this? In fact, if you bought a new machine, Diversity Love, you have 3 or 4 extra bobbins in there. And this little sidewinder thing, even now, I'm sure it's under $20. It's like in the teens at Wally World. I actually bought a new one because this one, see, it's getting full. This one, I bought a new one because this one was, oh, I know. When I moved here, I didn't have it. I couldn't find it. And when I sew, I didn't want to be aggravated. So I bought a new one. Guess what? I gave it to one of my other artist friends because I like my old one better. So see, now I have another one ready. Hi Martika, how are you doing? Hello African Dreamin'. Thank you. Greetings. Greetings from your end of the world. How are you guys doing? Okay, so I usually just stick an extra bobbin because I don't want when I'm in sewing and creating, I don't want to wait. So I have these ready. And I usually put an extra one in the thread spool at the top because I don't actually use that for sewing. So, that being said, I want to talk about a couple of other things. One new project that I will be doing on Thursday when you guys come live. Hello, Dud Chicken. Thank you for coming and welcome. Hope you're taking care of everything up in your part of Connecticut represented here in the house. The new project is going to involve old fabric. We're going to take old jeans and make an apron. And it's part of a challenge. Miss T with the T is starting a new well, not starting, she wants to emphasize her gardening, and she's doing a live podcast, and she wanted everybody to wear overalls. Well, everybody doesn't have overalls, can't get overalls. Everybody doesn't want overalls. And I had a project I had intended. It's already half started, and she's the stimulus to get me to go ahead and do it. And that's to take a pair of old jeans and make them into an apron for those of you who don't want overalls. And I see men wearing the big denim overalls, working on cars. I see denim aprons in the kitchen, which is where mine will mostly be used because the other little white aprons, the little thin ones, they get grimy and greasy after a while. This one will hold forever. So let me show you what I am going to upcycle for my jean apron. Okay? I have remember I forgot. Oh, I was making postcards and I had pieces of cut up dress. Hello Texas Lala. Thank you for coming and welcome. And here is the rest of the dress. I already knew it was a long dress. It was a long dress for a size 14 wearing thick woman, and I cut it up. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't wear it for a long time, and I knew I wanted to do some projects with some jeans. What I love about this is it already has the two pockets on the front. So I'm going to cut the back off to make the top, but I will do that Thursday. I just want you guys to get a pair of old jeans out so that I can show you how to make one out of old jeans. I even have two pieces of this strip that I cut off the hem that I'm going to devise into the part that goes around your neck. Ta-da! Already made. Already made. We are upcycling. You want overalls and a big hat? You know what? I know everybody doesn't wear fur. Auntie did. I remember when I first got my homestead in North Carolina, and Auntie Joanne will tell you, I wore my overalls with a mink jacket. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. And my cowboy boots and hats and buckles and all of that stuff. It was fun. It was fun. So, this is what I'm going to work on Thursday. But I want to show you on my phone some of my friends in some of my friends in a different quilting group in down south. A lady made an apron. Let me turn that out. And I want to show it to you out of old jeans. Now, let me see if I can get the angle of the camera so that can you see that? You see where the fly is on the zipper and the pockets? Go the other way. Check this out. How cute is that? If you want to get jiggy, guess what? I challenge you. I challenge you, Unbiased LLC. You like to upcycle stuff. Unbiased, I challenge you. I double dare you to make an upcycled jeans apron live. Yes, live. How cute is that? I think, oh, I didn't have a picture, but there was a picture of this with the pockets. These still have the pockets on the inside so that when you stick your hands in the pocket of the apron, the pocket is still there. It's not so down. It's not so down. How cute is this? Maria Graham, I don't know if you have any old jeans. I double dare all of you to make a jean, is upcycle some old jeans into an apron. That goes for you too, man. Michael's Chaotic Gardening. I double dare you to do it on that machine. African Dreaming. I'm sure you got some old jeans or can find some in the market. Okay? So this is, and we're gonna put the chalk this challenge up to Miss T with the T. She's been trying so hard, and I haven't told her about this, but I thought that this would be the cutest project for people who don't have overalls, don't want overalls, but can still participate in wearing the jeans. Hello, Laverne M. Thank you. This is my first time seeing you, and I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. So now, if I could pull the chat back up again. Oh, it did. It did. It did. It did. I told you I have so much to show you guys. So I have been working on, I hadn't planned on it. You guys, I'm working on, hello, Jones Truth. Thank you for coming and welcome. Hello, the retired gardener. I just looked at one of your videos today. I think you were harvesting peppers or something. I don't remember. But hashtag fabric postcards 2023. So I always have like 50,000 projects going on, and some have a short deadline, some have a long deadline. Before I show you all these new fabric postcards, I want to show you what a postcard stamp looks like. You actually do need to put a stamp on the fabric postcards before you mail them. It's a 51-cent stamp. So I bought a couple of them just so that I could show you guys. They look like they're different colors, like some are green, some are yellow in the sales. But this is what they look like. And then you still have them hand stamp it so it doesn't go through the machine and get ruined. Okay. So I'll put that over there. So I have all of these pre-quilted. I made several cutouts, and I want to show you how you can use one piece of fabric and have different looks if you're making the postcards. Like this is the peony fabric. I've already like pre-quilted it a little bit, enough for a postcard, and I just have to put the backing on it. But I want you to see that this one is different from this one. You see the difference? So if you use the same fabric, one person, two people don't get the same one. So if I sent one to two of you, those would not be the same. The same with this fabric. They're going to be postcards. You see this one where it has home in the corner? Well, I'll hold my hand. This one has family in the corner. Okay? This one has a cherry in the same corner. So you see, you can use the same fabric by cutting it. It's called fussy cutting. Fussy cutting, you get different looks. And that includes not just postcards, but anything. So another subscriber did a live and accidentally spilled the beans on a postcard that she put in the mail. So you guys are, I did notice if, hello, Maureen Chavis. Thank you for coming and welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, one and all. So this is just a piece of something for those who like to read. Raven's mother likes to read. She's not watching this. She's actually going to get this for her birthday next month in September. Raven's mother actually organizes a book reading club here in New Haven called Lit Fest, if any of you are in the area. And she's busy working on that. I think the big event is September 9th. Those of you who don't have a sewing machine or don't want to sew by hand, do you remember I made this one by hand? You see the hand stitch? And look what I did. I put a little button in the middle. And remember my friend's mother passed and her daughter gave me her button box. So I put one of the buttons in the middle of here just to give it something different, just to give it a different look. Now, these are some of the ones that are ready to go out in the mail. Here's one peony. See, it's ready. It's already signed by me. This one is an original one with Coco Pelli in his flute and a heart that I cut out. Remember, I made some plastic templates online, and I had some of that fancy silver fabric when I was showing the African fabrics in that basket. Well, this is the silver fabric with some of the heat and bond on the back. I just want to show you how you can use bits and pieces of fabric on jeans or whatever and make something. This is a butterfly postcard. A lot of people like butterflies, and the butterfly is cut. I had a lot of this fabric that I cut up. So this is ready to go out. I have several pieces of this. So whoever sends Auntie Ellen a postcard, I'm ready for y'all because I'm supposed to be working on this king size quilt in red and black, and I am sewing on it. I'll show you guys. And here's the back of this one, and here's the front. I have one little piece of scrap African fabric, and I put it on here. This block, some of you had seen, it was a leftover block that I had, and that same heart that I showed you a few minutes ago, I cut one of those out and put it on here. Thank you, Lorraine T. You guys can do the same thing. I'm showing you that a couple of them are pieced. These are just plain pieces of fabric with the I use batting. Why? Because I'm a quilter. Do you have to put batting in it? No. But some people collect these. Some of the people who collect them are quilters. And in order to be called a miniature quilt, it has to have batting in it. Don't sue me. I don't make the rules, but it has the batting in it and the heat and bond stabilizer. I don't take the paper part off because it makes it nice and crispy. Now, this one is different. This and it's mixed. This one has African and American, one piece of American fabric, and the American fabric is the Coco Pelli. Where down here in the background, this is some of that swashwag South African fabric. This piece is a yard of fabric that was hand carried from Africa on one of Joanne Stevens and my friends, and Auntie Joanne gave me the yard of fabric. I'm inching and piecing it, and I say 1 5-inch square, and I cut it in half, and I put part of this on here, and this part, no, this part is, you know what this is? You know, the African hut art quilt that I'm making when I was doing the roof. This is a set of the strips that I had cut and sewn together. And you just use leftover strips and fabric. I just want to show you guys that all this is scraps and a little bit of time. This one, some of you have seen, some of you have not. This one, this one is a Chinese fabric that I was in love with, and I put that in the middle. And I put black. Then I had some purple scraps left over from something. I put that on here, and I accidentally put postcard upside down. Maybe no one will notice that the pagoda or temple is upside down. But one thing I wanted to tell you guys is this is all functional art. I put a little time into them because these this same postcard will fit in a 4x6 frame on the wall. It's frameable art, and you can give it to anyone that you want. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think so. Did I show you this one? I think I did, because this is that same vase with the kind of gold fabric, cocoa pelly in the middle, and this swashwag fabric, the African fabric, the top looked like the sun was coming up. So I put him like he was blowing the horn for the sun, at the sun, waiting for sunrise. Then this one was a piece of that fabric with love and friend on it, and it wasn't quite big enough. So what did I do? I sewed a piece of the African fabric with the beads, cowrie shells on it, and made it the size 4x6. I have a funny story to tell you. When the postcard gets here, one of my subscribers is sending me a postcard and made it the wrong size. She made it 4 inches by 7 inches. And I won't ruin her story because she might be doing a whole vlog on it. And the people at the post office gave her the natural blues. The natural blues. They didn't want to mail it. This one I was making for a birthday card for my grandson. And this is like the crazy quilt look. You see, this one has about 15 different fabrics in it. Some of the Asian fabric, the purples. I intentionally stitched on top of here to make it look patched up so that if he wants to, he likes purple too. And I put the dragon, the two men on it. So this is what I have been doing for postcards, and I want to encourage any of you to make one. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I think I think Maria Graham has a slight addiction to them already. She's made way more than I have. Way more than I have. I'm making them so that when I get engrossed in my big projects that I can do that when I want to give somebody a gift or something like that. I will have them available. You love the colors, Maria. Thank you. I've just used scraps, you guys. I have I want to show you literally bags of scraps. These, see this? This is what I was working on today. I like the scrappy postcards. You're going to try making some, Laverne? Oh, I would love to see them. Please tag me on it or tag hashtag hashtag Auntie Bev if you're watching me in my list. Hashtag fabric postcards 2023 so that we can see them. If you do hashtag fabric postcards, it will show up with all the fabric postcards who have ever been made. And there are groups on Facebook of people who collect them. One lady told me when I posted my little one or two that I'd done to show you guys, she told me, "Oh, I have thousands of them because I used to have a Facebook group and we exchanged thousands of them." And it's fun, especially when I used to exchange a few. I had not hundreds, not thousands, but maybe 50 or so going to different countries. It's so fun. So April and I are going to exchange some, going to Tanzania and see like these leftover squares. This was really a really nice hand dyed fabric, and I stuck it over here with some of the strips of African fabric. Then I had just some blocks, some 5-inch blocks that I had cut for another project. You guys can buy 5-inch charm squares. You can buy 5-inch charm squares in batik. You can buy 5-inch charm squares in African fabrics. You can buy them in 10-inch fabrics. And what is a 10-inch fabric? If you cut it down the middle and cut it down the middle sideways, you get 4 pieces. So you can mix and match whatever you want. I took this purple out because I saw this. I took a couple pieces of this, and I know a lot of you guys like purple. I had this batik and stuff, but I just wanted to show you that literally, like April, you guys that get this bits and pieces, you can make just anything. Just anything. Then I had this big piece of schwag. It's called SHWE. It's a woven South Africa fabric. It's branded by the government. They don't really make it anymore. There might be one or two companies in South Africa that make it, but it's woven and it's like a collector's item. So I was gifted these, and I'm going to divide it up and put it in some future postcards. Then I just wanted you guys to see, like in your spare time, you don't have time to sit and put like 20, 30 cards together. I might sit down and say, I'm going to make 5 cards today. I already have the components made. See these? I have a bunch of these unbleached muslin with the heat and bond already fused to the back, and I drew the lines on it. So then, and they're 4 inches by 6 inches. Sometimes you have to trim the edges, they don't match up exactly. I have that same jean dress that I showed you a few minutes ago. These are some of the pieces that I cut out of that old jean dress. It's nice and soft because I wore it. I wore it many times, washed it many times, and I want to show you, like this one even has the seam in it. Can you see that? You use whatever you have. You use a seam, use everything. That's what makes it art. It's different. This is a pair of like pants fabric that I picked out. I figured some of the guys might like some dark postcards with, like, say, a silver heart and a strip of the other one. That made it really cute. I keep this one separate and covered up so that it doesn't get lint on it. And I saved even these little pieces of unbleached muslin because you can draw on them, you can write on them, you can do whatever. This is one I painted on. You guys are awfully quiet today. I hope it's interesting. And these are all of this butterfly fabric. There aren't too many people who don't like butterflies. So each one is different because it's cut from a different part of the fabric. And then this one is 4 by 6 inches, but I don't like it just in one strip. It was a nice piece of fabric, so I'll probably cut it on the diagonal and add some of the other pieces of fabric. This was the backing to a dress I made for my daughter. And so, do any of you have any questions? Any of you have any questions? This This piece of fabric, my daughter actually hand carried from Tanzania maybe 20 years ago. You love the butterflies, Cheryl Faulkner? Well, then you have to find a way to make one for Auntie Ellen. It could be paper, it could be anything as long as you make it yourself, and you can get yourself a butterfly postcard, my sister. So, you guys, it is 7 o'clock, and Hands in the Dirt and Nikki are live on the chat. So, let's mosey over there to give them some support. Tell them that Auntie Ellen has to finish editing her broadcast, and I'm on my way over as well. And for those of you who are new, who haven't been here before, you see what GQUAT stands for: Garden, Quilt, and Art Traditions. Thank you all for coming. I love you. I love you. Ego amo te, mommy. Thank you guys. And I hope you enjoyed the live tonight. It was something different.